Jeff, you know, we've been talking about rail all morning.
Yep.
Time now to
We're
talk
on track.
Yeah, we've been on track. We are on track. We're going to talk to someone who was actually here at the station and worked at the station for a long, long time. So, Bob, you worked here as a controller, is that correct?
That's correct.
He's not a fat controller, is he?
No. And Bob, what was your role here at the railway station?
I worked in the railway office opposite the Mill Tavern, and I started off as a junior in that office and worked my way up to the position of a control clerk. Something after the style of an air traffic controller, only we didn't have the sophisticated equipment that the air traffic controllers had. We had to look after the trains and the range where they met one another, crossed one another, troubleshooters when there was derailments and other unfortunate incidents and that type of thing.
Bob, how did that communication happen? You said it wasn't as sophisticated as...
Yeah, we had...
how did you communicate with the trains?
We had a microphone in front of us and a panel in front of us with lots of keys, what they call keys. And if we wanted a particular station, we turned the key and there was a code that rang the phone at the station at the other end. And their incoming voice would come through the microphone and I'd give out instructions and information from my end, sort of thing. Yeah.
So, Bob, the signalling, the lights signalling, were you looking after that as well?
No, there was signalmen here and also station masters that looked after the signalling type of thing. Yeah.
Yep. So you would have been, I guess, Spring Bluff would have been one of your regular contacts.
Certainly, for sure. When we looked after that end right down as far as Woolcarack and near Ipswich, we had lots of trains, the old steam engines and the diesels coming up the range, and a lot of them struggled with the loads they had on. Yeah.
It's a pretty big climb up the range there.
Certainly is.
And I mean, you must have seen your fair share of dramas of...
yeah. And
does one stick out?
Yeah, nothing particular, but we had trains that got stuck mainly coming from Murphy's Creek into Holmes, a station called Holmes below Spring Bluff, and also coming into Spring Bluff. Yes, they caused us lots of headaches, and often we had to send either a steam engine or a diesel down from here to assist them through to TOOWOOMBA.
Now, there were passenger services to TOOWOOMBA, but was the majority of services right? What was it? Goods? Was it heavy goods?
Oh, there was an enormous amount of passenger traffic went through here. The interstate mail going to Sydney and coming back from Sydney. The train going to right out to Charleville, Cunnamulla and Quilpie. And also we had rail motors coming in from all the various branch lines every morning and going out of an afternoon.
Yes, well, I certainly remember the rail motor to Helidon, and then the bus up the range from Helidon.
That's true.
The little bullet rail motors, gorgeous little rail motors. Now, what about travelling north? We know that, you know, it was Stanthorpe and Warwick and then out to Oakey. What about the northern lines? Were you servicing much traffic north?
No, we didn't look after the railway chaps in Brisbane looked after the service north, you know, up to Rocky and Townsville and Cairns.
That's right, but what about through Oakey? Weren't there branch lines through Oakey as well? Yeah,
the branch lines out to Cecil Pines and out to Cooya.
Right, up to Cooya, that's right.
Yeah, up to Cooya,
yeah. And you were controlling all of that traffic?
Yeah, we looked after that, yes, yeah.
And coming back to the railway station here now, 150 years, what's changed for you? Yes, there is no steam.
Yeah, no steam from the early 70s. The absence of railway traffic apart from the coal trains and an occasional train hauling grain from the southwest or out on the Millmerran line.
And these days, Bob, is that all automated now? All of that signalling?
Yeah, all the signalling is all automated.
Automated, yeah.
Before I finished in the mid-90s, we were just getting computerised signalling here. I handled a little bit of that for a year or so before I finished work.
Bob, one final question. What's your favourite memory here? You know, of the station, the dining room.
Yeah,
the people?
Yeah, the dining room, the refreshment room ladies that worked in there did a wonderful job looking after the public, particularly on the interstate trains and the rail motors and that ran in the area. Oftentimes you'd get the mail trains running late, and they'd arrive at the same time, and the passengers only had roughly half an hour to have their meal. They had to race off, have their meal, but the ladies in the refreshment rooms looked after them very well, made sure they had their meal.
And Bob, it was silver service and QR cutlery, yeah?
Yeah, QR cutlery, yes. We often had railway functions in there for various activities and that, and yeah, the ladies again did a wonderful job there. It's something that the younger generation, you know, wouldn't understand.
Yeah, couldn't comprehend.
Yeah, I reckon these particular days like today should be held at least every year to acquaint the public, you know, what the railways are about.
To remind the people and show young people.
And all the history of the railways in this area.
Yep. Yeah. Bob, it's been great chatting with you today.
Yeah.
Bob, who was here, who was working the signals all those years ago, and back today for the 150th anniversary of steam through Toowoomba, right here on Power FM.